Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for my Countdown to Christmas series. Today is day 2 and I'm going to be playing today with a designer die set from Echo Park. I picked this up and what made me fall in love with it was the little swirlies on the antlers. So pretty. But it's called Christmas Reindeer and it's the perfect scale for card making. This is an A2 size panel here and you can see the size against that. I think it was perfect size. Now I also picked up a background stamp. This is a designer stamp from Echo Park also, and it's called Confetti. Now this is the first time I've ever used a background stamp from Echo Park, and I wasn't sure of the quality. The price was great, but I wasn't sure of the quality. But it is photopolymer, and so I really like that. I know it's going to stamp well. The only thing I didn't like is it doesn't cover an entire card front, but I think it's workable. It does leave a little bit of border on the left and right side, but I think it's workable. So I grabbed my Mini Misty and a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. We are going to go over that with my anti-static powder bag. We're going to do some embossing, so this is going to prevent my embossing powder from going places that I don't want it. Now I'm going to take my background stamp, place that in the lid of my Misty, and I'm going to go over it one more time with my anti-static powdered bag. Sometimes I'm afraid with a large stamp like this it's gonna mess up, so sometimes doing it twice is good. But I inked up my background with my Versamark ink. I'm going to go over it with a towel because it is a large stamp and the towel does glide over the lid a lot easier, kind of giving it better coverage. I'm going to ink it up one more time and then we'll stamp that once more, making sure I get a great impression. Now I'm going to go over this panel with some white embossing powder. Now this is called Confetti, but whenever I buy a background stamp I always look for the versatility in it, and so since these confettis weren't uniform like polka dots, I thought it would make a great snow background. So that's why I picked this one up. And it stamps beautifully. I was very impressed with it. Once I have my embossing powder all melted, and I missed a spot, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to take a stitched rectangle die and I'll cut out a panel. This is going to give me a panel that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's going to leave me a little bit of a white border on my card base. I really like that on my cards. I think it just ties everything together. Okay, panels cut out. Now we're going to do a little bit of blending. I'm going to grab some Distress Oxide ink. This is Antique Linen. I thought we'd do a nice neutral background instead of a non-traditional blue snowy background. Sometimes the neutrals are really nice, and I think Antique Linen goes really well with the Neenah Desert Storm. So I'm intensifying the color where I'm going to put my reindeer, and I'm kind of blending out towards the edges, kind of lightening it a little bit. Just making sure I have full coverage on my panel. Now we're going to do some die cutting. So here's my Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. I'll cut out the reindeer's body here. And then for the antlers, I'm going to be using some brown cardstock. This is dark chocolate from Simon. And then in my stash, I have some red glitter cardstock. I picked this up a while ago. It's a 12 by 12 sheet that I believe I got at Walmart. And it's the shed kind. So I have glitter everywhere. But for my sentiment, I'm going to use a Stampin' Cut set from Hero Arts. This is the Mary Stampin' Cut set. I've had this for a while. I love the Stampin' Cut sets because it comes with a coordinating die. I'm going to cut out a little Rudolph's nose with that glitter cardstock as well. Once everything's all die cut out, I'm going to attach my reindeer antlers here, and then we are going to use, I'm going to use my QUICKIE glue pen to attach the reindeer's eye, which was super duper small. I think if you had a black marker it would work just as well. And then I'll go ahead and attach his little sparkly nose. So reindeer's all done and he looks so cute. We're going to finish off our sentiment, so I'm going to grab a piece of the dark chocolate cardstock. It's the same cardstock we use for the antlers. We'll grab the Christmas sentiment, I'm going to stamp this with my Versamark ink, and then we're going to go over it with some white embossing powder. Lovely. Now I'm going to let my heat gun heat up just a little bit, and we'll just melt that embossing powder. Now I did take my paper trimmer and trim that down. I kind of blocked it off. And then I'm taking a circle die from my stash, and I'm going to cut out a window in my background panel. Once it's cut out, I'm going to grab my vintage or my antique linen, and I'm going to intensify the color of that inside circle here. I just really wanted it to stand out. I think if you were to go over it, maybe the edges with some vintage photo, it would look nice as well. So we'll flip this panel over, and we'll add some foam tape behind it. We'll just remove the release paper and add that to an A2 size card base. We'll place it right in the center. I'll take my tape runner and add my inside circle. Put that back in its home. Okay, now we're going to add our little reindeer. Now the reindeer's feet and the antlers are going to be directly on my background panel, but the inside of the reindeer is going to be in that circle, so I'm going to add some foam tape there. And then using my glue, I'll add a little bit here in the air on the antlers and then the legs of my reindeer. This way it's glued down nice and even here. So cute. Now we'll go ahead and attach the Merry sentiment, and I'm going to place that right above my reindeer's legs, and I'm just going to glue that using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. Making sure it's straight. Now this glitter sheds. I mean, I did try out the non-shed glitter sheets, and I have to tell you, I love them. Once you try the glitter sheets or the glitter cardstock that doesn't shed, I don't think you'll go back to the shedding kind. But I did want to use it up. I didn't want to waste it. But I added the word Christmas, and I did cut out a small red star with the same red glitter cardstock here. I'm just going to add some foam tape behind it and place that right next to my sentiment. In the Merry Stamp and Cut set from Hero Arts, there's two little stars. I'm going to ink them up with my brown ink. This is dark chocolate or chocolate brown ink from My Favorite Things. And I'm going to stamp a few of the little stars. Now, the first star that I stamped there, I stamped directly on, I should have paid more attention, but I stamped directly on top of one of my embossed little snow dots. And so the color wasn't crisp. So here's my solution for that. I die cut out a little bit of a larger red star with the glitter cardstock. I'll take the smaller star and place it right over the star that I didn't like. We'll put the larger star where the smaller star was. And then we have a quick fix. I'm going to take that small star stamp, and I'm going to stamp it one more time right above the upper red star here. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to grab glossy accents, but I'm going to take a paintbrush and go over my card base and dust off any of that glitter that's on there. And there was quite a bit. But I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to my reindeer's nose. And that completes my card for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining me for day 2. Keep a lookout for day 3. That will be coming soon. But I wish you a fantastic day. And links will be in the description area in case you guys are interested. But we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.